with the support they need to succeed in school and prepare for their dream career. Discover more about AmeriCorps programs making a difference in your community at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Men's health is not a game at Limitless Male. It's serious medicine. We're not a West Coast franchise with a one-size-fits-all approach. Every man is different. Some men require more or less testosterone to feel their best. At Limitless Male, we safely monitor your labs and symptoms along the way and adjust your treatment as needed. The only thing cookie cutter about Limitless Male, the incredible results men brag about. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community. Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Inside the Huddle with Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Fires a pass, and it's intercepted by the Huskers at the 25, Jay Foreman. And Foreman takes it down to the 19-yard line of Oklahoma. Another big play by the Black Shirts.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
What up, Jay Foreman? Jay Foreman Inside the Huddle at home version brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging. 7601 Pioneers Boulevard will take care of all your imaging needs and get you on a clear path to some pain relief, which I will be partaking into Harrison on Wednesday. So, Harrison, how you doing, my man? Hey, have you recovered from the breaking news last night?
No, what an awful timing. I got to wake up early in the morning, and that thing hit at, I don't know when it was, 11:30. My phone wouldn't stop blowing up. No, I'm still not recovered. I get some of the argument with Luka. You don't want to pay him the money. You don't let somebody like that walk out the door. That's
yeah,
kind of where I'm at.
Harrison, obviously we'll dive into some Husker talk as well, just because it's junior day and junior weekend, obviously with a couple in-state recruits that they've offered, and obviously the commits, and obviously Dayton Raiola's in town, obviously the younger brother of Dylan. But the one thing when the trade happened, first of all, I'll dive into a little bit of what it's like to get traded. You know what I'm saying? It's a unique process, and obviously I know Luka is a way more obviously he's higher in his sport than me, same with Anthony Davis and so forth and so on. So I think I'll attack it from a multitude of angles, and it's weird that I guess have this much. I mean, a lot of former athletes have a lot of experience with being traded, close to trades, and obviously being alive and seeing the the outcome of huge trades. And so for me personally, when you get traded, and there's that video of Anthony Davis, I think earlier in the week, or when it was a couple weeks ago, when they asked him about looking back on what he's accomplished, both in the present time in this season, because he's been playing really well. Really, really well. And consistent. Obviously, he strained his abdominal or oblique or something I don't have anymore. So I don't have those hairs. I don't have those problems anymore. But he's out. But the reporter asked him, "Hey, what have you really realized, or do you look back with fond memories of what you've done this season?" And then added on to, pretty much through your Laker career, like in past tense. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it hit Anthony Davis, and he was like, "You talking like I'm getting traded?"
Yeah.
And the look on his face was not a joking matter. It was like, what do you know that I don't know? And a lot of times the media knows, and a lot of times there's some nuggets out there. And obviously it's out there that 2 days ago, so it'd be Saturday, Thursday, Dallas called the Lakers, offered up Luka. Rob Pelinka doing the old negotiation ploy, sit on it for a day. Let's see what you do. He probably said yes right away.
He had to stop himself from saying yes right away.
Yeah. So, it's like one of those things where I guess, back in the day they used to have it. Well, when do you call somebody that you just meet? Is it bad that you call the next day? If the stupid thing like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so for me though, here's a unique experience. And once again, I'm going to keep saying I'm not in the same league as Luka and or Anthony Davis. Even though I feel very confident in my career, did some pretty good things. Obviously by the jerseys up there, I needed a couple more. Even though I had a couple more, I was looking at my helmets here, and I wanted some more. But I remember I just finished up my 4th year in Buffalo, and had a kind of like a good year, pretty good year. I hit all the parameters that my agent had said I needed to hit to potentially get obviously an upgrading contract, and we weren't making nearly as what these guys were making. So when you try to get to your second contract, man, because I was a late round draft choice, you really, appreciate it, because you're not even supposed to be in the league at that point. right? And things have to go right. You have to take advantage of the opportunity, and then you got to continue to progress when things get harder. And I remember, that was the first year of Greg Williams, and we weren't very good. But you always feel like when they judge you harder when the team isn't going to the playoffs to see who's really going to compete. And I felt like that's just who I was, and obviously had personal goals, and I wanted to continue to put good tape out there, so forth and so on. And back then there was no internet, there was no social media or anything like that, or there was internet, but there wasn't a lot of these sites. And there was a site called kffl.com, so essentially the equivalent of footballscoop.com. So all the news would come, via little nuggets at the combine. But back then, you wouldn't see stories until everybody's done testing and working out. So it would be, whenever the reporter or whoever got the little, tips, it might be 9 or 10 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing about it is, me and my dad were down in the basement, and we watched that LeBron James dunk contest. And we started hearing about LeBron James. I was like, oh, let me go check and see what's up. I haven't heard much from my agent. My agent been trying to, talk with Buffalo. It's kind of getting the runaround. I think they extended me the low round tender or the regular tender, which is based on, it's either mid tender or high tender. The high tender was ones that, started the poison pill and stuff. So I was just a regular tender, which was definitely appreciated. But then, I got this letter from our defensive coordinator named Jerry Gray, and it was like solving a riddle. You know what I'm saying? He was like, keep doing what you're doing. Things will always work out for you. Look forward to seeing you. Right? But it's keep doing what you're doing. Things will work out for you. Like you're going to be somewhere else. Look forward to seeing you. And Harrison, I remember being like on Sundays, I would be, or Saturdays and Sundays, I have a hard workout, and then we cook and stuff. And I called my dad upstairs. I had 2 of my best friends come over, and some other friends that, I lived in a little townhouse development, and we all tried to solve it. Called my agent. We're on speaker. Nobody knew, right? And so I'm like, okay, it goes. And then, a couple of days, go by, and you heard a little something that at that time, the Tennessee Titans had cut Eddie Robinson Jr., who had played for Coach Greg Williams. But I'm like, man, he's in his 12th, 13th year. I had a really good year. I'm better. I feel like I'm better than him. No, and no knock on him. I think he was a really good linebacker. He was really, I thought he was good. I watched a lot of tape of him to learn how to play in the defense. I'm like, why? What they'd pay him, I'd probably pay. You know what I'm saying? I just started, well, then it's no big deal. Well, right before we go back to off-season training, Harrison, literally before I was about to get on the airplane the night before, ESPN bottomed the ticker. Listen to this, Harrison. Listen to this. This is even better. The Buffalo Bills signed linebacker Eddie Robinson because he just got cut, right? So I'm headed to the airport, Minneapolis airport, flying at that time. I think they were Northwest Airlines, not Delta, to go out there. Call my agent, my first reaction, I ain't going. And he's like, you better go out there. So I go out there, and here's what really made me mad, Harrison. And Luca and them make way too much money, so they don't have to be mad. He can keep probably the Dallas resident and still get the tax break. I just had put a first and last month's deposit on my apartment. So I was hot, right? And then here's the funny thing, Harrison. I had asked the coach, I said, listen, man, I won't tell anybody. If you're going to trade me or you don't want me, you just got to tell me, because it was a big deal. I was not making any money. So, I'm like, I got my little townhouse back here. Like, save me the trip. I'm in shape. Don't, you didn't have to worry about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to show up and, be 300 pounds or something. He's like, no, you're in. And then, so that's when we go right into mini camp, and workouts. And I remember talking to Danny Smith, and this has actually forged our relationship into a really close relationship. And he was like, look, man, you just come in here, compete. You're better than him. You get to training camp. He's like, I got faith in you. And he was a special teams coach. And I'm like, okay. And then, when I went into the facility, I was so mad. I worked out early in the morning. and everybody's looking at you like dead man walking, like you got a scarlet letter, right? And it's kind of like Anthony Davis. I'm like, dang, why everybody, like looking at me like, why are you here? Or like, or like, what are you doing here? Or like, trying to, see how you're reacting, right? Like, but they must have known the trade was going to go through. I didn't because it was so early. So get taped up to go to practice. Greg Williams was like, hey man, let me come holler at you, right? I was like, because I was hot. I was ready to fight that dude, right? I like Greg, and then so he put his arm around me and we're walking. I thought we were just gonna go talk in the corner and he was just gonna kind of like settle me down a little bit. Harrison, when I tell you they had this thing timed up so good, Tom Donahoe walked in right when he brought me down, and then he told me, he was like, hey, you had a great year. The Houston Texans needed a starting linebacker. We need a kick returner. We look forward to doing what see how you progress, but we trade you to Houston and your flight leaves at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Hey, Harrison, a brother still had boxes, just turned the cable on. You know what I'm saying? And
so
I'm telling you.
That place.
Huh?
You just re-signed on the lease for the apartment?
Oh, yeah, because I probably got up there a couple days before and worked out. Hey, Harrison, when I tell you I cussed this man out, and that was probably my only mistake right there. I took it personal. And I think also a lot of times, and as an athlete, you take too much personal. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a business. And that was my first time of dealing with it. I felt like, Buffalo is kind of like, not kind of, it's just like Lincoln. I progressed there. I was invested. I was willing to, stay and see the team improve. I started to kind of be comfortable in the defense, so forth and so on. And boom, the rug gets caught, pulled out from under you. And so getting traded is different because then you start to doubt yourself. And then the one thing I had a support system. My dad was like, look, man, don't look at it like a bad thing. It's like you were wanted. It's their mistake. And look at it like that. And then you got to go prove it. And things worked out well for everybody. But, those first 24, well, I would say this, the first 24 to 72 hours is odd, right? And then the Luka won't forget or won't kind of come to terms with this for about 2 or 3, and Anthony Davis and all the players, but mainly those two, for about 2 or 3 weeks. It'll take them a month or so to really get acclimated, both on the court and the locker room. When you're alone, he's got to uproot his support system, whoever it is. I don't know if he has a girlfriend. I think his mom's there. So it's a lot of upheaval that he has to deal with. And so his agent and his support staff is going to have to do a really good job. Same with Anthony Davis. So that's my experience personally with being traded. It worked out well. I think Houston got the better end of the deal. They traded me for Charlie Rogers. So it is unique. And it's definitely an odd time when you walk in there, and think you're on the team. Next thing you know, you're on a complete opposite side of the United States. In my case, I went from Buffalo, New York, probably a high of like 63, 64 degrees in that point in time, to 96 degrees and 90% humidity. I was dead by that first couple of weeks. So it's big news.
Texas are looking a little bit better though.
Yeah, everything it worked out well. But I'm telling you, Harrison, it was I remember I had Chris Brown, who I played with in at Nebraska, and then he was down there, and he's from Texas, so he was, he went from Pittsburgh to Texas. I was on like solo. I didn't really talk to anybody. I was kind of just, processing the whole thing. And he was like, "Man, do you want to be here?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man." You know what I mean? And it wasn't anything personal against them. It was just, it's different, man. And no matter what, they're going. Luke is going to play with LeBron, and Anthony Davis with Kyrie and Klay Thompson and all that. It's still, man. I mean, whether you win titles or not, you still go through some grinds together and build some sort of relationships with each other, and you become invested in the area and stuff like that. And I think Anthony Davis, just had a kid, just got married, so those are a lot of like emotional attachments that he has to LA.
He got hit the worst in all of this, I think, is probably AD, because he was kind of getting postured as like LeBron was really doing a lot of it, constantly posturing him as like, when I'm done, it's AD's team.
Yeah, and that was the deal for him for the trade, and it started to go that way. Look, you had instant success of having that championship. I don't care if it's a bubble or not, you win. I'd argue the bubble might be harder. It's you don't even. Everybody's playing in the same places, but
yeah, there's no road games. There's no.
That's fine, but you still got to put the ball in the hoop. I
Yeah,
mean,
in a controlled environment with the same backdrop every day.
Yeah.
That's how you get Lou Dort dropping like 45 in a
Yeah.
playoff game. Like it was different. I'm not going to take it away from them because everybody had to play with the same standards, but I'm not going to call it the hardest.
No, it's not the hardest, but everybody's on it's actually on an evener playing field. So I would probably push back that it's actually harder because you don't have, traveling to LA, so forth and so on. But that's here nor there. But they have instant success. And then you saw a little chink in the armor, which is interesting that Luka's going out there. The next year, AD came in out of shape. Remember that? Started the year off hurt, didn't play well, looked out of shape, looked lethargic, finished strong. The Lakers haven't been back to that pinnacle. And then last year they won the in-season tournament, so forth and so on. And both him and LeBron got paid, and then you thought like, oh, we're starting to see AD more consistent, hadn't missed as many games, even though every time he gets touched, he looked like he's about to die.
Yeah.
Well, then this year, I think this was his best and most complete year. I mean, he was dominant, right?
He's been solid all year.
Yeah,
he
was,
really
and had some huge games and carried the pail when LeBron looked like he was 40. And remember, LeBron kind of rested when he got, I think it was ankle or thigh for, 3 or 4 games. And Anthony Davis definitely, held the team together and performed, really, really well. And had a weird freak injury against the 76ers when the 76ers came back, just astronomical comeback against the Lakers led by Maxey. I was like, all right, he'll be out for a couple weeks. No big deal. He'll just come right back and they'll get going. And the Lakers have won, if you include last night, 5 of the last 7. So things are turning up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably back in Dallas, or no, he's probably back in LA watching the game, getting that call from his agent on a Saturday. And it's late. Probably just had dinner, and put the kid to bed, trying to do, like rehab or physical therapy. And it's like, man, you going to Dallas, brother. For who? Luka. And I think the biggest thing is because Luka's in his prime. And he's been a 5-time All NBA, 5 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And just took them to the NBA Finals. You get what I'm saying? And yes, there's the off the court stuff, but he's also a very young 25-year-old.
And his skill set's gonna last. He's not like not in the same way of like a Kemba Walker's always the best example I can give of this. Like he was a phenomenal player, but at that height, as soon as he lost a step,
yeah,
I mean those shots were so hard for him to find. Luka's game with his height and his kind of
size,
like Jokic, like slow.
Yeah.
It's more of getting you guessing than it is just beating you with athleticism. Like his game's gonna last. So he's not even in his prime right now.
Right.
And
Yeah.
past his prime, he's still gonna be electric.
Yeah, because then he gives you position flexibility, right? He can probably, slide down to a, 2-3, play a small 4 once he gets a little bit older and kind of really morph into that joker position where he's like a point forward, kind of like Derek Walker or, Rink Mass that we have here in Lincoln. Or obviously last year. And then also, with Luka, sometimes, he's very mature on like playing on the court, just way beyond his years. But as a professional, and especially with, I think, Mark Cuban taking a little bit of a step back. And obviously you got Jason Kidd there, who had a different skill set, but a different work mentality. I think that's where Luka missed the mark. But then also you have to weigh, okay, Kyrie's a little bit older. Klay Thompson is definitely older. Here comes another older superstar, all NBA, all defense, and Anthony Davis. We're forging our long-term, I guess, success and franchise. We're throwing that away to the wayside with the hope within a season or 2, possibly 3, you can get an NBA championship or worst case scenario, get to the NBA Finals 2 out of 3 years. And a lot of that is probably dependent on health and what other moves are or aren't made throughout the NBA. And so, Luka's going to the Lakers, and I think it's going to be a great Lakers show. It's going to be exciting, but I don't think they're any threat right now with the roster they have to make a run.
I don't think it's enough. I still think, to me, I mean, who do you got in the way? I still think, I know they didn't go The Timberwolves beat them last year, but I really do think it's probably going to run through the Nuggets again.
Yeah, I think I think the
Nuggets.
if the Nuggets get back, and I think the Nuggets, the thing that hurts them is their depth, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They lost some really good players like Jeff Green and Brown and all
ACP's
that.
gone.
Yeah, so they lost all those guys, and so but their top 6 or 7, if they can get busy in that identity of who's doing what, and along with Joker, and if Jamal Murray is mind's right and he's playing efficiently, it's going either through Denver. And obviously, with Shea Alexander, it could stop it. Probably really go through OKC. Now, the problem with OKC is we've seen their chinks in the armor in the playoffs last year. Because defense. Here's what's funny about the NBA is it goes back to like the 90s in the playoffs. Possessions gained, more physical, rebounds, efficiency on offense, and so that hurts OKC, right? Because you're so one player dominant, and so. I think the Dallas Mavericks definitely hit it out of the ballpark for this, right? I mean, you got to think you get Anthony Davis, and yes, you lose Luka, but what do you get back? And because the Lakers aren't any closer.
I would say they are.
You think the Lakers are closer? Okay, let me ask you this, Harrison. So Denver, OKC. Dallas. Would you say Minnesota?
They wouldn't be high up there for me, but a contender.
Okay, so Lakers at 5, right? That's what they said last night. This is going to help them get the 5 seed. So say they play Minnesota. Okay, I like that. I like their lineup against Minnesota, right? As it stands.
Yeah.
Because of Karl Anthony Towns and Julius Randle. So after that, Lakers against any of the 3 that I mentioned. Dallas, Denver, OKC.
Well, Karl Anthony Towns he's Nick now. He's not.
I'm saying with Karl Anthony Towns gone.
Oh, okay, yes.
And Julius Randle playing like garbage.
Yes.
So that's why I think the Lakers could push through, right?
Yes.
So now the Lakers would advance to, and I'm just saying, Lakers against those 3 teams that I mentioned probably are not the favorite.
No, I agree.
Right.
But I think it's a better upgrade.
Yes.
And if you go there with AD, like you're certainly going to get the same result. This,
right?
Like Luka, we've seen what Luka does in the playoffs. Like he does have those games where he's single-handedly, he's winning ball games. So he might have those moments. What it looks like with LeBron is the big question for me. This will be the first time Luka's ever playing with somebody who's going to demand the ball as much as LeBron James, and he's going to be the guy who's actually wrong for wanting the ball more than LeBron.
I'm hoping it's the opposite. The best case scenario for the Lakers to push through to the heights that they want. Now, I know we got a couple minutes. Is LeBron handing it over to Luka? Now, Luka's got to be in shape, right? And so hopefully this is inspiring him to get in shape. And in shape for him is living up to being a professional. He'll never be lean, right? He's not going to be. He's just a big, husky dude. But you can't be 260 pounds, man.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's too much force on your body for the amount of volume that he uses as far as with his different fakes and stuff, right?
Well, it shows on defense too. He's really become a liability at times with how out of shape he's been at certain points of the season.
Right. So then if you let Luka be the decision maker, LeBron be the finisher, you could actually keep Jackson Hayes. Then if they make another kind of like mid-level move, and then you got Connect 4, then you got I like Austin Reeves. You got some other good pieces, and LeBron can be potentially based on the matchup that back to the basket 4, a la when Jordan got a little bit older, right? The brute force, right? What you think back when Cleveland was going with those teams that LeBron was just dragging to the finals, or like, when they got to what did he do? He's like, I'm just coming downhill, right? So then now he can kick it out to Luka, who's a legit 3-point shooter, Connect 4 and Austin Reeves. It could really, really work out. And then a lot's going to be based on the defense, and if they can get some more defensive help that can give up spot threes, because getting to the rack ain't going to be a problem, right? And being able to win the possession game will not be a problem. I don't even think decision-making – I think the decision-making goes up, right? Because as the NBA's changed, and this might be something to think about, Harrison, as the NBA's changed more of a kind of a dunk in 3 points, it's decision making where to get guys in spots. So now you're kind of morphing into that, right? You got emergence of Jackson Hayes, which I think they need another big. You can kind of take the load off LeBron and then kind of force things into Reeves, Luka, connect four. If they can keep them all, if they don't have to give up one in a trade. So it could work out for the Lakers. It's going to be interesting to see what Luka. This all depends on Luka, right? Right now,
Ronnie might step up here, and he might become an integral part of that Lakers run.
I think he can. Hey man,
I'm done. That's all I got.
Leave that dude alone, man.
He's a nice kid. He really is.
Hey, listen, Harrison. If I was a coach, you'd be starting.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, but you know what? To be honest with you,
I'd be like, nah, I'm not ready. I'm gonna get exposed out there. I'm gonna do another year at college.
But
probably how I'd handle it.
You're getting paid. You learn on the job. I get it. I understand. Look, there's worse in the NBA now. I will tell you that. There's guys that are picked higher. I saw the 40th pick, and his jump shot on the internet.
Hey, I'll say all this because I know we got to go to a break. As much fun as I do poke about the Bronny stuff, because it is funny. He has one great game in the G League. They pull him up. He plays terrible. JJ Redick's like, yeah, he wasn't ready. Not the first guy to be involved in politics in the NBA. There's been plenty before, and there's going to be plenty more after. So it's not like he's uniquely alone, and everyone, he deserves all this criticism. Like there's a lot of kids that would have done the same.
Yeah, it's part of the deal. He's grew up in a fishbowl. He's got a younger brother that's grown up in it, so he'll be fine. He'll get better. But anyways, Inside Huddle, we're gonna take a quick break. Brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging. Once again, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Quick break. Come back, Harrison. I'm gonna give you a football comparison to the blockbuster trade, and also I have a indirect connection to this too as well, and I don't want anybody to do a Twitter search because it's not a good look for Jay Foreman. I'll give it after that, then we'll dive into some Husker stuff about junior weekend, junior day, and what it means to how it will affect recruiting moving forward, and Matt Rule, what he said yesterday. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle. We'll be right back.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
Early break jokes, as Kevin says, the old days were absolutely not better times. Lots of hardships. Life in 2025 is better than ever. Oh, I love when we get these jokes back. I love
good joke. Good
I love
one.
that joke. You're good one.
Good one, Kevin.
You're hilarious, Kevin. You keep it up.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hey, Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The Jerky Bowl has kicked off at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska. From now until halftime of the big game, every online order gets you entered into their incredible giveaway. The grand prize is a 30-bag jerky sample pack, $225 value, while second place is a 15-bag sample pack, while third place is a Be Mine jerky box. Perfect for Valentine's Day. Order now at smokinggunjerky.com, and if you enter promo code EARLY, you'll not only get 10% off your order, but also be entered twice for the drawing. It's the Jerky Bowl at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of 3.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to Inside the Huddle, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging. Here is your host, Jay Foreman.
What over back, Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Will take care of all your imaging needs and give you a clear path to some pain relief. And something I've been, really appreciative of their support and their staff over there, and continue to go over there for guidance. But like I mentioned before the break, Harrison, this Anthony Davis and Luka trade is probably, I think it's the biggest trade maybe in sports history, but
I was going to ask you that. Like, is there any NBA? Have you seen anybody if these two magnitudes?
Yeah.
Usually these are the guys calling the shots.
Yeah. And especially in this day and age where the players have more of the power. So I think it's the biggest trade in sports history, I think. Now I know there's been some big trades in like European soccer. I don't even know what they call it anymore. They like call them like leasing them and stuff. But there's been some big stuff with that. But I don't think player for player. I think, when you're exchanging players, I think this is the biggest one in sports history. Now, NBA's had some big trades. I think the Shaq trade was very, very, big. And it actually happened right around when I got traded. And somebody asked me about it. I was like, if Shaq can get traded, anybody can get traded. But it was just Shaq going. And it's something that Shaq wanted, right? I think relatively all parties involved were caught off guard. I'm saying everybody was caught off guard.
I just saw a tweet. I can't remember if it was from Shams, but LeBron James didn't know about it, so he wasn't involved at all. He found out at dinner with the family when it was happening.
Yeah, I know everybody wants to blame LeBron, but
not this time.
Yeah, not this time. And I don't even think his agent knew. I think they made him aware that maybe Dallas called, but they never told him they pulled the trigger. And that's the Rob Pelinka creating some job security for him. But I'm going to tell you this, Harrison. The second biggest trade, I think, in sports history, I think this is obviously the first one, especially with this new age, was the Herschel Walker trade. You remember the Vikings traded a plethora of first-round picks and players for Herschel Walker. And, obviously Herschel Walker was a great player at Georgia. And then he went to USFL, played well. Then he was at different stops. And obviously he was down at Dallas. And Dallas was in full rebuild mode, which I don't think either one of these franchises are. But I think that's the one that really set forth the path of Dallas, going, oddly enough, as Dallas Cowboys going on and winning 3 Super Bowls and having 3, Hall of Fame or multitude of Hall of Fame players on both sides of the ball. Jimmy Johnson going to Hall of Fame here and so forth and so on was based on that trade, right? And it kind of was, why would you trade Herschel Walker in his prime? And he's your only tangible asset. Now, there's other great players on Dallas Mavericks and same with the Lakers, but it was a huge trade based on the haul that Dallas got in and the result from it. Herschel did okay with the Vikings and played a couple other places, did okay, but it was never he never and he never produced to the magnitude of what they gave up. And so I think that's probably the only comparison just off the top of my head of what stopped sports. I think it stopped sports yesterday. It stopped, kind of life in general. And everybody, and it was so late. And that's, I think also when it broke, it was 10, 11, o'clock at night and people didn't believe it for the first hour. And then you started to see different guys. I think Kendrick Perkins, I know he must have just went live at his house or got, took an Uber somewhere because he was just barely getting on his suit and tie. And it was huge. And it's going to continue to be huge as different, stuff is coming out. You got to think, I think I even watched the Lakers and the Knicks on TV. And then obviously, playing in Madison Square Garden. And then obviously LeBron James being out to eat with his family caught him by surprise and his agent. And so, it's just part of the business, but it's definitely like that Herschel Walker trade where I think it stopped sports. I think everybody was talking about it. And I think, I was watching the Gonzaga St. Mary's game and it was like 41-40 in the first half and it broke and the 2 commentators couldn't believe it. So everybody was aware of it, was stopping what they're doing. There was a video of Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal on the bench getting a cell phone from either a fan or a security guard to read it. And they were, in an NBA game. And also the funny thing is, Harrison, I think it puts a lot of, if I could give some heads up to athletes out there, and this is also kind of indirectly with Jimmy Butler. Listen, this is not the time to think that you're comfortable, even though you do make a lot of money. They will get rid of you. And Jimmy Butler's based on his actions and hurting probably players that are come after him. So selfishness on his part. And then Luka's probably at a plethora of things of they probably think they got the best version of Luka. Constantly a weight battle. I think it's a risk worth having if I was the Mavericks, because of his age. And I think, as he gets older, he'll mature. But then also with the Mark Cuban selling the majority stake, I think, in the Mavericks and not controlling interests, now it becomes dollars and cents, right? Mm-hmm. And so now they don't want to pay one guy $350-something million. Now they think they can go and get 4 for the price of 1, and that's that old Moneyball type of mindset. And just as long as butts are in the stands, that's all that matters. But Luka
problem with this, like if you're gonna play Moneyball, you need to get more draft picks.
Right, that's what I was just about to say. Is Luka puts butts in the stadium or in the stands, and you only got 1 first-round pick.
That's not gonna do it.
That's not gonna do it. And first-round picks aren't even really like worth that much in the NBA.
Like that's why you see a team like OKC Thunder and even like the Rockets. Like give the Rockets credit.
Yeah,
You're starting to see teams build young and have a lot of success with it, and just go ahead and sacrifice, some years of not great basketball. But you're still looking at the OKC Thunder, and like they still got a few picks. They can realistically piss away, and they totally be fine for it because they've done such a good job. And it's a bunch of cheap players, so if you got one of those ownership groups where they're kind of cheaping out, you can still win a lot of ball games with a young team like that. But you got to do it the right way, and like that's why with this whole Mavericks, I just we can sit here and say it was smart because of all the money, but like unless they get really lucky on a draft pick, which is always possible in the future, like I don't see this team going. I think they just completely, lowered their ceiling by a few floors for the next 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. And then and people are turned off by it because as much as they were frustrated with Luka, he was must see TV. You got to think just last year, Harrison, they were in the NBA Finals with the same squad, and they got Klay Thompson. So in Dallas didn't catch their second wind or really hit their rhythm till late in the season. So this wasn't new to them. So I think it was a little premature, and they didn't get a big haul in. But oddly enough, when I compared it to the Dallas Cowboys, they got a huge haul, and they got draft picks, and they got legit present players that could help them right away to kind of build a winning culture. And they end up winning, 3 Super Bowls in that time of those great players that they acquired. So
yeah, they got 4 players with those picks.
Yeah. That's it.
And 4, and not just guys, you can put on like 4 legitimate players. I don't know, couldn't tell you what their stats were and how effective they were. But like that's what you do if you got somebody who is that, everyone around the league thinks they can work with them and make it happen. That you gotta leverage that a little longer if you're really gonna do it.
Yeah, and I guess that you gotta give Rob Pelinka credit. If somebody's dumb enough to give you Luka and only have to give up 1 first-round pick, because Luka's 25, Anthony Davis is 31. Just that injury history and the perception of who's not available as much. I got to get more draft picks, and I would have tried to get Austin Reeves or somebody that maybe I could have brought in Austin Reeves and moved him, right? Kind of like sign it, kind of move him, get him, and then obviously like kind of like remember Carmelo Anthony was in Atlanta Hawk for like 2 days. I would have done something like that, but nevertheless, the trade's done. And I'm gonna tell you this, Harrison, my indirect connection with that Herschel Walker trade. Number one, I was a ball boy. So, the next year before he lost his mind, well, he was a weirdo then, but they had my dad come to the game, right? Because they had drafted guys after my dad, and none of them kind of panned out. But Herschel Walker was the dude. So they had my dad at the game, and I went with him. And big thing back then, Harrison, was you wanted to get on TV. Right? If you got on TV, back then there wasn't like ESPN or anything like that. They played the games.
Channels too, so if you get on TV, like the entire nation saw you.
And you're the coolest kid in school. And so we're at the game, and they put my dad up on the Jumbotron. Right? And Harrison, I'll never forget, man. I went bonkers. I'm jumping all over him, showing him, waving my hand, obviously acting like I ain't never been there before. There's a video of it, man. It's embarrassing, man. My dad was like looking at me like, I taught you better than this. It was, you know what I'm saying?
It's out there.
It's out there. It's out there. And I don't think my dad knew he was on TV. I think I knew. It was one of those. Yeah, it wasn't a good look. So that's my indirect connection to the second biggest trade of all time. Herschel Walker, I think, was playing. I think they were playing Green Bay, and obviously it's a rivalry game, and I looked like a complete idiot on TV. So, oh well, like to say I would, got a little bit better at it, but who knows? That's up for discussion. That's subjective, as they like to say. We'll take a quick break right here. Come back, and we'll talk about Junior Day, what it means. Got a couple interesting in-state committable offers. I didn't really know there was a difference. I thought every offer was committable. You know what
I don't. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know what that entirely means. What do you mean?
It means so. Right, real quick. So obviously with 300, some schools offer 300 players.
Yeah.
So they all can't be committable. They're all kind of be like, we're offering you, and you might be second or third in line. and say the top 2, if you're the third, then you can commit, and then we'll take you. I didn't know that. I just kind of figured, like, if you wanted 25 players, you offer like 30, and then you kind of move on. You kind of move down your list as guys commit and don't. But you kind of mass offer. Not every school does mass, and I think Nebraska is a little bit more strategic. But as far as in-state, I think there's 2 committable offers, maybe 3. I think they were around for junior day, so we'll talk about that and maybe the process of back in the day when I had a couple of offers that I didn't even know that weren't committable, and had a interesting run-in with a coach that didn't live up to the committable offer. But it worked out for everybody. I ended up in Nebraska, and he ended up being a Hall of Fame coach. So we'll tell that story real quick after the break. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, 76 side, or brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. We'll be right back.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Did you know that AmeriCorps programs improve lives, strengthen communities, and foster civic engagement in Nebraska? For example, AmeriCorps members serving with Conservation Nebraska provide valuable environmental education and practical tips people can use to maintain Nebraska's natural beauty and live more sustainable lives. Discover more about AmeriCorps programs making a difference in your community at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
You're listening to Inside the Huddle with Jay Foreman, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Once again, Harrison, I just saw a video of a guy in a bar, a broski, reacting to Luka getting traded. I think shots were on the house after that. But like I said before the break, it's junior weekend. Big news, I guess, out of the press conference from Matt Rule. There's going to be a different version of not a spring game, but something going on at the end of spring. Obviously, it's probably part of the plan, but then also the tampering that happened last year. I think he was very frank, and it's not even tampering; it's just flat out, are you open for business version of the NCAA transfer portal and NIL mixed in with it. So to protect his roster, protect the players, and obviously protect the progress. And there's other things, the way you can get a lot of work done. I think the biggest progress in what you make, obviously, is all the practices. But I'm sure that they'll put their minds together and find a way to make that, I think, April 26th day or event, just as special. And so it's part of the change in college football. Not a lot of teams are truly, getting after it in the spring game. They're just trying to get through it. So we'll see what Nebraska comes up with. But on the flip side, it was junior day. So the likes of Isaac Jensen, and I think his name is Jace Reynolds, who's Isaac Jensen is a 6'6", 210, 15-pound tight end from Millard South. Mm-hmm. One of their committable offers. And then obviously Jace Reynolds is as well, 6'2", 215, 210, runs well, linebacker from Elkhorn North. And so those are the two right now in-state committable offers. And I think they both committed or projected to be crystal ball to Nebraska. But I didn't really realize that I don't get into anything or, the real deals of recruiting, because the only thing that matters is what you do when you're here to me. But obviously recruiting is a big deal. I didn't know the difference between and I should have, in a committable and a non-committable offer. And so, look, man, it's like you can get all these offers, but you got to keep your I's dotted and your T's crossed before you can commit. So,
yeah, that catch me off. I didn't, I'll be honest, just being flat out honest. I didn't realize, each school is different on, they can really just blanket it out and have only X amount be committable.
Yeah.
Just to get the guy's ear, let them know you're interested. And then, of course, you got to figure out, okay, how far in the depth chart, how many guys got to not commit before I am committable.
Yeah, and I don't think they're doing it to where you're getting like the 6th ranked guy or anything like that. I think they have a list or a board, and
probably
they
3
stick.
Deep at most.
Yeah, and they stick to it, and ultimately players need to know where you're at. I mean, there was guys coming out of high school ranked higher than me, and if there was a couple deals, then or a couple guys before I understood it. But then also I think the feeling's mutual because it's no different than you having a school at, in your top 10 and they're number 6. What's the difference? You'll go there, 5 strike out, right? So it's the same thing. It's just viewed a different way. And so the only experience I had, and I'll tell this before we end the show, is my dad did my recruiting, and his deal was, and official visits were huge because we couldn't afford to take unofficial, And so, you know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, if Jay coming, it better be an offer because I ain't gonna be there, right? Because they didn't bring parents. That was I had enough offers to where you had 5 visits that you can make that part of the deal. So I wanted to go to Wisconsin, and it's supposed to be my dad. That was the deal. Got there, it didn't work out well. I think I left early because my dad used to always tell me to keep a couple dollars of change in my pocket. Went to a payphone, got a cab, went back, left home, left the visit early, and rest is history. And but you know what? It helped me get to Nebraska. Wisconsin obviously is done some great things, throwing in Nebraska style. So sometimes it's just a part of the process. And
well, speaking of which, too, I want a quick point out before we wrap up, since we're on the Husker football. Rico Spindler, likely, or I think he is going to commit today, and they just put in another crystal ball earlier that
to the Nebraska
Huskers.
Yeah, it's good. They've been looking at offensive linemen. Got Elijah Pritchard at the offensive tackle, but then you can bring somebody like Spindler in that gives you position flexibility. Maybe move Justin Evans Jenkins into center, and then you got Lutowski and him. And plus, he has that championship pedigree in Notre Dame. Kind of, it's been offensive lineman. So if everything holds true, that's great for Nebraska. It's also great for Dylan and the offensive weapons that they got earlier in the transfer portal, and bodes well for Nebraska moving forward. So, anyways, appreciate you guys listening. Inside the Huddle, once again, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Appreciate Harrison keeping the 1s and 2s fresh and clean. We'll holler at you next week.